Okay, I made the mistake of going on Facebook Marketplace and I found more rusty junk. So she didn't stop me. So this evening we're gonna go look at, well, something we just might get. So we'll let you know if we're gonna get it. Okay, here comes our future project car. I don't know if you can see it there, but I got her on the rollback and seems to have survived the trip. There she comes. Okay, we're gonna do a little walk around of our next project car. Now the tow truck dropped it off, and well, as you can see, it's gonna need some work. It's a little rough, but it's something to work with. Pretty much as far as the body goes, it's all there. Bumper's kind of raggedy, but it's got all the glass, the doors, kind of got a hood. It's got more holes than Swiss cheese. Somebody just went crazy with a drill. Looks like they had a giant hood scoop on here. I mean giant, from there all the way to there. But let's take a look and see what we got, and I'll go over here and kind of take a look up in the trunk. We got the master key in there, and well,
that's about a seat.
Yeah, we got half a seat, some trim. Yeah. Well, we got a cross member, and the trunk don't look too bad. I mean, it's fairly solid.
Good.
That's amazing. Not
Trim
too bad
pieces
over there either.
I think that's the trim piece for the side that's missing.
Yeah. Well.
Oh well.
Oh well.
What do we got over here?
Let's see. Well, we already know it ain't got no drivetrain in it.
Yeah, it's empty in there.
Yeah. So, we can see what we do have.
Oh,
Well,
it's pretty clean.
it's got the K member. And it looks like somebody's done some modifying on it. Some kind of welds going on there. Now, this seller said that this is the V8 K member. So, I guess we're going to have to see why they had to modify it, but we'll be looking for a 440 or a 383. Something to go in it. I kind of like to get it driving before we tear it apart and start working on the body work, but that's got to go. That's the Death Master cylinder.
Yes.
Yeah, because we want a little bit upgrade.
More
That
stopping power.
Yeah, well, that one you get a leak somewhere and you got no brakes, so that's got to go. So, yeah, looks like probably gonna need a windshield wiper motor. I don't know. Maybe it ain't that bad, but yeah. Well, let's see what we got inside. I looked in here earlier and it looks like we got some big block heads of some sort and 4-barrel manifold. It's kind of a start. Oh,
We got a better bumper.
Rear bumper, it looks like. Hood hinges. And the other half of the seat.
Cool.
So, it's got the instrument cluster. Dash pad's gonna need replaced. And floor pans are rusty. But, yeah, looks like it got some holes up there.
Just a little bit of holes.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to see if we can even get floor pans for this. But overall, I guess it's something to start with. So it's a slammer. A little bit of loose trim. But kind of looks like we're gonna be going Mopar.
Yep.
So
I didn't think we were, but I guess we are.
yeah. I kind of like it.
Yeah, me too.
Throw it on me.
I was kind of impressed.
Kind of looks like a 60s hot rod.
Yeah.
You know all the stickers that make it go faster? Yeah.
Looks cool.
Well, we're gonna see if we can't find some good deals on some parts. Maybe a motor, a tranny. See what we can come up with. We are going on the hunt for a drivetrain. This ought to be really interesting. Right there sits a 440 in all its glory. That's what we need. So, if we can get this monster back to the shop, I think we got a drivetrain. Well, we got the Winnebago dragged up here to the shop with a big tow truck, and she's in the process of giving birth to a Mopar 440 via cesarean section. So yeah, we hacked away, and I've got to get the transmission off and lower it down out of there, make it a little bit easier to get this thing out of here. So we're gonna do some more hacking away and try to break loose some rusty bolts and see if we can't get this dude out of here. Okay, you can stop. Okay, the delivery was a success. Sawzall, cutting wheel, and a chain attached to a truck, and my assistant to drag it out. So you can tell that it's a 440 because it says 440. I was a little worried it might be a 383, but yeah, it's a 440. Alrighty then, now we got to get it in the shop. Okay, let's see if we can unbolt this transmission. And get this starter off of here. Okay, I seriously doubt it works. But I'm gonna test it anyways, just for the heck of it. All right. Looks like the ignition module lost its goo. Okay. In the dump pile. Okay, I think it's rusted. Okay, see if we can get this torque converter off of here. Okay, this one's right up against the block, so I might have to loosen the other ones and walk that one out. And hopefully I don't drop this torque converter on my foot. That would suck. But I think if I get this one loose, get these other ones over here all loosened up, I think I can kind of push the torque converter back, and that way I can take that loose, and once I get the flywheel out, then I can get the bolt off of it. So, let's see if this is going to work. Come on, get in there, wrench. It's stuck. Yeah, this is going to take some doing. I think I'll get something in there. There we go. Now at least I can turn the wrench. Good thing these bolts are short. There we go. All right, it's the next day, and we're still working on this Mopar motor for little Plymouth, and I've got to get this beast up on an engine stand, and I discovered that I've run out of engine stands. So we went to the Zone and got another one, and it says 750 pounds. I think we're going to be kind of pushing that with this. Hopefully it'll hold up. But I guess I got to get this thing bolted together. There's some assembly required. And see if we can't get this big hunk of Detroit iron up on that stand so we can see if we can get it freed up, because I ran the probe camera down a couple of the spark plug holes, and it looks pretty evil in there, and there's stalactites and stuff. I'm probably going to have to pull the heads off and hone it out just to get it freed up. And we'll see, you know, how things are looking in there. Once we get it on the stand, I want to pull the valve covers off, see if they're complete rust balls or if they're halfway decent. But the little Plymouth needs a motor, and well, there she is. They don't get very much bigger than 440 cubic inches. So we're going to get this on the stand and see if we can't work it loose. Got this Mopar beast up on the stand, and it's a little warbly, so I think first thing I want to do is shed a little bit of weight. I think maybe intake, exhaust manifolds, maybe water pump, motor mounts, yeah. Get some of this weight off of here, because this little engine stand is hurting. So we're gonna go ahead and tear this dude down, pull the plugs out, pour some kind of lubricant down the cylinders, see if we can't get any movement out of it, because it is just locked up. So we're gonna go ahead and start tearing this thing down. Okay, here we go for the weight reduction. Let me get some of these loose. I ground the head off of that one last stubborn bolt with a little belt sander. But before we open up this can of worms, I want to blow some of this crud off of here. It's got a bunch of dirt and crud, and I don't want that falling down the inside. But so we're going to just blow this thing down really good. There's some more weight. Okay, looks like our valley pan is pretty much disintegrated. So we're going to put the vice grips on that dude and maybe vacuum this out a little bit. Yeah. See there's anything salvageable here. Alright, well, as bad as it looked on the outside, the inside don't look too bad. I mean, it's not good, and that ain't good. There's, you know, full of water up in there. So, I got another set of heads in the car. So maybe between the two of these, we can actually come up with some heads. But, when I get these valve covers off, I'm pretty sure them valve stems are just seized. So probably the next thing is going to get the heads off and run a hone down through the cylinders, tip it upside down, wash it all out, brake parts cleaner. See if we can get this thing to turn a little bit anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and get these valve covers off. See what our rocker arms look like. Hopefully they're not completely rusted away, but we will see. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Could be a lot worse, but it looks like these lifters kind of rusty in the bore, and the valves, I'm pretty sure that the valve guides and valve stems are all seized up. So I'm thinking if I remove these rocker arms, try to free up some of these lifters, get the plugs out, get some oil down in them cylinders, we got a little bit of a chance to get it to turn over. Probably gonna have to take the heads off, but we just want to kind of see in stages what's holding it up. Pretty sure it's the cylinders, but we're gonna go ahead and take these off and spray it down with WD and every other liquid penetrant I got, and see if we can't get it to move a tiny bit. So we're just gonna give it a shot. Okay, got the rockers all off, and I freed up some of the lifters, and still won't budge. But it's what I expected. We're gonna have to go full on, pull the heads off, run a hone down through the cylinders, heat them up, beat on them with a block of wood, and see if we can't finally get this thing freed up. So here we go. Okay, now we can view the carnage. I'm not really sure what all that is. Yeah, that don't look too good, but that's not the worst of it. This over here, now that's bad. We're just gonna have to see if this is even salvageable. There's still a few machine shops that put sleeves in. I don't even think boring it over 60 would fix that, but we're gonna at least try to get this thing freed up, see what we can do. So I'm gonna get these vacuumed out, clean them out really good, and start honing on the ones that are down. See if we can't get it to turn a little bit. Okay, I honed the cylinders that were down, and it actually came out better than I thought. There's some pitting up there, but they're kind of shiny now, you know. So wire wheeled the ones that were up. They couldn't fit the hone in, and I hit some of these over here. They're not too terribly bad. Maybe it's actually salvageable. But now I'm gonna put some heat to the cylinders, or the pistons rather, try to get them to expand and just break up that rust. And I'm gonna soak it down with some kind of penetrant, get up around here, see if it can't break it loose. Take a block of wood and start pounding on all the pistons and see if we can get them to move. Okay, after heating and beating, I couldn't get that thing to turn not even a fraction of an inch. I even tried map gas heating up the pistons. I knocked out number one piston after taking the oil pan off, and timing cover and timing chain. And I finally got it to turn just a little bit. You know, it's a shame because I pulled some of the bearings out, and you know, it just looks like this is a low mileage motor come out of a motorhome that somebody very rarely drove, and everything looks really good down here in the crankcase. Just these doggone pistons are just rusted up, and even the lifters, so far the ones I've got out, they ain't got no wear or dishing on them. This must have been a good running motor before it sat up and got rusted. So I've got this bank tilted up, and we're gonna put a little Marvel mystery oil down each cylinder and let it soak for a day or two and see if we get any movement at all. So we're gonna let this set overnight and see if any of this goes down through the rings. And we just want to make sure we got them full all the way up to where they're going to get the rings all the way around. So we're going to let this soak here for a day or two, come back and see if we can't get it to move a little bit more. Okay, it's about 3 days later, and this piston is obviously free. It drained down, but these other three, not a drop has come through the ring, so they're seized in there good. So the next step is going to be to try to access the rods that we can get to and pound out the pistons and see if we can't free it up that way. So we're just going to keep pulling out pistons that we can get to and see if we can get it to roll over. All right, I have 8 very stuck pistons out finally. And crankshaft that spins so freely, I can just spin it with my hand. So I found a really good deal on eBay for a set of flat top pistons that are 60 over, and I'm hoping that will do it, because there's a little bit of rust in them cylinders. Have to get these pressed off, get the rods cleaned up, and see if we can't run this to the machine shop, get it bored out. You know, 60 over, more horsepower, I think. Well, a little bit, but you can tell it's a 440 because even the crank says 440 and the block. So yeah, we got us a big monster to put in a little itty bitty car. So gonna get this tore down, cleaned up the rest of the way, and press them off. See if we can't get some machine work done on this. All right, it's a couple of days later, and it kind of blew my mind because these pistons came in 2 days, all the way from Dallas, Texas. And the rings are made in USA. Pistons, well, they're made in Mexico, but I guess that's better than China. But open this up and take a look. $60 over. Well, no, that's not 90. Yeah, $60 over. Gonna need every bit of that to clear all that rust in them cylinders. So I guess this means I'm gonna have to press the old pistons off the rods and get these run down to the machine shop. So I guess I better get busy. Got 8 piston rods pressed off of these nasty, rusty ass pistons. And if you ever rebuild a motor, you can use this ball joint tool. You can get it at any auto parts store. You just got to press it about halfway through, and then get you a heavy duty impact socket and push it the rest of the way through, and got your rod separated. So got to get these cleaned up and get them to the machine shop, have them press on all the new pistons. So we'll get busy with that. I got all the oiliness off of them, but they're a little bit rusty, and that's to be expected from a seized up motor. So I googled that evapor rust stuff, and I guess Harbor Freight or China Freight, whatever you want to call it, is starting to carry that stuff now. So I think a gallon will get it up to about here, and I think we're gonna let these soak for a while. So we'll see if that stuff works. Never used it before, but maybe it does. We'll see. All right, we went to China Freight and got this evapor rust, and it says non-toxic, biodegradable, safe on skin and eyes. I don't know. That kind of seems like code words for it don't do nothing. But you never know. I mean, it might work. But I guess we're going to do a review and see if it gets the rust off of these rods. And if it works, well, we'll definitely let you know. But I'm going to go ahead and get this poured in here and see what happens. Okay, like I was saying, I was going to do a review on this evapor rust, and I was quite pleasantly surprised. They came out rust free. I mean, it is gone. It's just unbelievable. These were pretty rusty. And all of them, I mean, all of them, even the ones that had thick rust on them, came out clean. The only places left is where there's a little bit of grease, and that seems to be just wiping off. That is unbelievable. I think maybe I'll be getting some more of this stuff. Fill this bucket up and dip some heads in it and all the other rusty nuts and bolts. But that's awesome. I think it's probably worth getting. A couple gallons. Well, it's a little expensive, but if it works, man, especially on internal engine parts, you don't want to be sandblasting them. That right there just chemically removes the rust. So, I guess it's some good stuff. Alright, this bolt was seized in the water pump housing, and it was moving, but it was stuck in the water pump housing. So I think maybe an easy out will get this out. We'll have to see. Let's see. We're going to see if this is going to work. Oh, come on. Oh, yes. Oh, maybe not. I think there's a bunch of rust on the threads in the back. It goes all the way through. Come on, do it. Yes. Oh, yes. Now? Yes? Yes. Oh, awesome. Yes, it is coming out. Alrighty. That's awesome. Alright, I want to see how badly pitted this is. So I'm going to knock some of the nastiness off of it. Wow, that's not bad. I thought it was going to be all pitted up. Looks pretty decent. Alrighty. Alright, I got this crusty old gasket all wire wheeled off and it looks pretty decent. Now I'm going to see if this cam is going to come out, or if it's going to be seized. I have to kind of pull on it. It moved a little bit. Let's see if we can maybe get it to pry out. I need something to go up against. Come on. Yeah, there we go. It's pretty well stuck. come on. Don't be stuck. A little bit more. Let's make sure that the push rod for the fuel pump's up out of the way. Now, need something for a handle. Well, it's pretty well stuck. I don't think no lifters are against it. We're going to have to look. All right, I got up underneath and gave it a little love tap, and looks like it's freed up. This dude is kind of rusty. Yeah, real rusty. All right, now we can get these cam bearings out of there and clean up the rest of the block, get it to machine shop. Okay, I got the block out here, and I'm gonna see if I can get this stripped down the rest of the way and do a little cleaning on it, scrape all the gaskets off, try to get some of the sludge off, and see if we can't get this off to the machine shop. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to work on this. We got her pretty well stripped down, and now we need to do a little cleaning on this. I think I'll go ahead and knock out these freeze plugs. I'm sure that they are rusted on the inside, and scrape off the gaskets, spray a little oven cleaner on there and let it soak in. Hopefully it won't be too bad. It's not that thick. It's a pretty thin layer, so it didn't get caked up. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little cleaning on this and see if we can't get it halfway decent for the machine shop. I know that they don't like putting it in their vat machine with it filthy. It clogs it up. So we're going to go ahead and try to see if we can't clean this up a little bit. Okay, I got the first layer off anyways, and starting to get it cleaned up a little bit. I went over to the zone and got some new stones for my hone, because I want to flip it over and run this through the cylinders, knock off some of that rust, and just kind of see how bad the rust is. I got 60 over pistons, and I'm hoping that'll clear it. I'm pretty sure it will. But I'm going to go ahead and see if there's any really bad pits, so just by running the hone through it and kind of get a better idea of what we're up against. So I'm going to go ahead and get to work on that. Alright, I got this monstrous beast all honed out. This side, all the cylinders look pretty good. There's a couple shadows down in here. That's not too bad. The one that concerns me is this one right here. It's got some pretty deep pitting, but I think maybe 30 thousandths will clear that. This one over here left some pretty deep shadows, but the 60 over pistons were the cheapest because not very many people are stupid enough as like I am to bore their motor out 60 thousandths, but kind of had to because all the rust in these cylinders. But I'm going to do a little more cleaning on this and get it ready to run off to the machine shop, and they'll let me know if that one's going to work. I hope we don't have to put a sleeve in there, but we'll see. It might just barely clear, but we're just going to send it down there and find out. Okay, now that we got the block all stripped down, we're going to run it down to the machine shop and have them do their magic. So, off to the machine shop. Okay, if you're a Mopar fan and you like this little 66 Belvedere, we have about 3 more videos worth of content that we still haven't edited yet. So, if you hit that subscribe button, and you'll be able to see a whole lot more stuff. We found 3 transmission cores. We're gonna try to make 1 out of 3, and found a rear end that fits, and we're gonna be doing some more work on the motor. So as usual, we appreciate y'all watching, and that's gonna be about the end of this video.